Well, good evening. This is Doc. Can you all hear me? Oh, good. I hear you all answering, so that's wonderful. We welcome you tonight to another presentation by I don't know where we find these people. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure he was walking down the road and drinking, and then I almost ran into him. I'm teasing. It's Tony Rockcliffe, and he's one of our favorite speakers. And tonight he's doing something pretty special, I think. The power of custom AI assistants. And so we're hoping everybody learns a lot and likes this and decides to make their own assistants. Without further ado, welcome Tony Rockcliffe.
Thank you. Well, good evening to everybody in the room and everybody who I can't see in Zoom land. Okay, so many of you were at the last 4 seminars, so you know where what we're covering tonight has built up to. And actually, I'm going to move forward a little bit. Most of you know my past and kinds of stuff I did, so I'm not going to cover that now. But I'm going to do a very quick update on what's happened since we last spoke 2 days ago, or a couple of weeks back, because this world changes all the time. All right, so what we're going to cover tonight is, like I say, brief updates since my last seminar, and then my sequential history with these things called custom GPTs, which are just basically personal AI assistants. They're basically mini GPTs that can be programmed to do just about anything using ChatGPT as their underlying technology. And I'm going to show some of them with demos to kind of show what led to the hallelujah moment that happened for me about 2 weeks ago, and to also give you ideas for creating your own. And I'm also going to show you an absolutely wonderful tool that I find I can't use ChatGPT or custom GPTs without it. It's just phenomenal. Then I'm going to show you how to create your own custom GPT, and we're actually going to do one live in person. God help us. We're at the mercy of the GPT gods, and if their servers are being whacked, we might be in trouble. I'm also going to show you how to make them secure, because I went to a seminar about 2 weeks ago by a pretty famous local marketer, and he had just done a similar thing to what I'm going to show you tonight, where he'd put his book into one of these custom GPTs. And I thought, I wonder if he made it secure. And I checked, and sure enough, he didn't. And anyone is able to just get in, see all the code, see how to build it themselves. So I'm going to show you how to make yours secure. And then at the end, we'll do Q&A. Couple of updates. Image creation, you probably remember, because we showed a lot of that stuff. You used to put in a prompt, right, to get the AI to create your image. And you'd wait 45 seconds, maybe a minute. Well, as of last week, it's now instant. Literally, as you're typing, it's starting to create what you're typing. As you add a new word, that appears as well. And it's pretty wild. And the places to see that, Leonardo, which is one of the major ones, has introduced what they call Live Canvas, which is that technology of instant images. Stable Diffusion over at ClipDrop, which I showed you last time, clipdrop.co. They also have the same technology. One of the most fun ones is at a site called Krea.ai, Krea.ai, because there, what's being created is not only governed or modified by what you're typing, but what you're drawing. And you can draw the weirdest, craziest, simple, bizarre things on the left and have them appear as wonderful things on the right. Bard, Google's Bard, has gone through a lot of updates recently. It can now watch YouTube videos and summarize them and find things. And it's also, since it's Google, it's incredible for keyword research. SEO guys are kind of getting really concerned, SEO, search engine optimization, because those guys charge $2,000 to $3,000 a month to find your keywords. And now Bard and ChatGPT, to a degree, kind of just enables us to do it. As I covered last time, but I wanted to cover it again for anybody who wasn't at that, Claude and Merlin have shown quite a tendency to what they call hallucinate, which means you ask them to do some research, and in their desire to be helpful, because these guys are actually trained to be helpful, which I'm going to explain in a minute, they will make stuff up. And if you don't know that they've made it up, it can be disconcerting. And I found this out somewhere in the last month when I asked Claude something, and it gave a list of things, and I happened to notice one of the things was completely untrue because I happened to know what it was. So I said, hey, Claude, what gives? And Claude was extremely apologetic. I mean, he really was. He said, I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right. I won't do it again. And I said, you better not. And then since then, I modify my prompts to make sure that they don't ever lie to me or make things up just to be friendly. But both those tools are great for content. So I still use them for content. They're wonderful for that, but not for research. And as many of you know, ChatGPT Plus, the subscription, which gives us all these powerful tools that I'm going to show you tonight, was closed for about a month because the servers got so overwhelmed when this technology was released on November the 6th that they finally had to say, no, we can't take on any more people. But a few days back, they opened it up again. So we're back in business. China last week announced, you remember we went over the fact that the Copyright Office said you can't copyright AI images, but you can copyright your involvement in them. You know, your writing of the prompts and any tweaking you did and all that kind of stuff. But China announced that you can copyright AI images. So I guess you have to copyright your images in China and then use them in America, where they'd be much cheaper. The last thing before we get into the meat of what we're going to cover tonight is just some additional prompt tips. In session 2, we covered prompts in a lot of detail, which is, how you communicate with the machines. And a number of new things have come to light in the last month. So as I mentioned before, ChatGPT is trained to be helpful, and you'll see why this is important in a minute, and to mimic humans. And it's been definitely demonstrated that if you are polite and say please and thank you, you get better results because they're trained to act like humans and to be helpful. Also, one of my clients sent me a prompt that she had done, and it was like 5 questions in the one prompt. And I went, whoa. So I wanted to mention here, no, ask one question at a time, not multiple questions in one prompt. Get the answer to your first question, then ask the next question. And the other thing which I did cover in session 2, which is the importance of using roles. You tell the AI what his role is. In other words, you're a marketing expert or you're a financial expert or whatever kind of expert you want him to be. And if you don't get the answer you seek, well, actually, one thing is that almost every time you ask your first question, you'll get a pretty generic answer. A lot of people stop there, but that's kind of a big mistake because where the gold is when you dig deeper and deeper and deeper. And so you get this generic answer, you find something there, and you go, okay, tell me more about that, or expand upon that, or expand upon all of them. And you keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until you can get down to a very granular step-by-step level for just about anything you want to be able to do. And if you kind of reach a brick wall and you're not getting the answers you seek, remembering that they like to be helpful, you can say, you're not being helpful. And suddenly they're able to do something they couldn't do a moment ago. And this one I read about and then tried because I was with a client and we were doing something and we reached one of these impasses where it said, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable doing that, or I can't do that. And after getting that 2 or 3 times, I said, that would make me very sad. You can do it. I have every faith in you. You're a genius. And suddenly it could do it. So there are tricks to cajole the data. Somebody last week discovered, this is so bizarre, that if you offer them a tip and you say, you get the answer and it's kind of a little bit short or whatever, and you say, give me a better answer or a deeper answer, and I'll give you a $20 tip. And you suddenly get a better, deeper answer. And then they also tried it with $200 and they got a fabulous answer. So it's wild.
How do you give them the tip on that?
It's all metaphorical and or symbolic. Yeah, as I said, first answers are usually general, so ask for more details or expansion and keep going as deep as you need until you get what you need. Okay, so November 6th, 2023, the AI world really changed. On November the 6th, 2023, OpenAI, the company that built and released ChatGPT, announced custom GPTs, which, as I said, are mini versions of ChatGPT that can be customized or tailored to be, quote, AI assistants for specific use cases, and that we could build these ourselves and sell them in their upcoming store. The store was supposed to be released early December, but as you probably or may know, OpenAI went through a bit of a kerfuffle in their leadership, and things got kind of crazy for a while, and so it's now been delayed to early January. And it's very much like the days of early Apple and the App Store. You know, they used to say there's an app for that. Now it's pretty much there's an AI for that, because there is. And now at first, when I watched this thing on November the 6th, where Sam Altman, the CEO, or then CEO, and then not CEO, and now CEO again, of OpenAI, announced these custom GPTs, and I didn't quite get it. I thought, I can't, what is this? And I couldn't quite figure it out. And then something happened. And basically what happened was I was remembering that 25 years ago, I built a little app called Decision Maker that helped people make kind of impossible decisions where there's a lot of pluses and minuses on each side of the decision. And each of those pluses and minuses were more or less important to the person. And trying to keep all that in your head was tricky. So I developed this program where the computer would walk you through it. And as you walked through it and started to put things in place and see it, you started always to veer towards one of the decisions. And by the time you got to the end, Decision Maker had come to exactly the same decision as you had now come to. So it worked really, really well. But the problem was it was on Windows 95. And Windows 95 disappeared, as did the programming language that I built it in. So for 25 years, I've been without my trusty Decision Maker. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. If these custom GPTs are what I think they are, maybe I could recreate it as a custom GPT. Now, the original one took me days to create. But this one, I thought, well, I'll just try it. I'll just map out what it should be. And I spoke to the AI. And 10 minutes later, I had a working Decision Maker. And I went, whoa, this is kind of interesting. And then, so what happened after that was I got a lot of people who say, hey, you got to check out my website, my 30-page website. It'll only take you 4 hours to get through all the pages. And I don't have that kind of time. So I thought, well, I wonder if I can make a website speed reader. And sure enough, so then I got my website speed reader. It just goes to a website of my choice, speed reads the whole thing, gives me a summary of the data way, way faster. So at this point, I was starting to get kind of interested in, okay, what else can these things do? So then I looked at crypto and thought, well, there's all this information on the web about crypto, different coins, their history, their future projections, social mentions, I mean, all sorts of stuff, around. And I thought, well, what if I built a custom GPT that could go out across the web, get all that information, and give me a summary for any coin I'm interested in? And it worked. So I thought, boy, this is fun. And like, this is a very brief excerpt. I was looking for, you don't have to read this now. This just shows you that I looked at a coin called Akash, and it gave me the market performance and price analysis, future predictions, social mentions, summary. It actually gave me a lot more than that. And, oh, that's interesting. We've got an interesting thing here with the monitoring system shows things slightly different than they are, which is why it says, I wonder, Red, if I... So I work with a lot of artists, and I'm an artist myself. So I wondered, well, could I build some things that would help artists? And so I tried, my first attempt was a visual artist career guide. And what it does is, since the internet has so much information, helpful information for artists on career stuff and on marketing and how to market themselves in the current world, which changes every year. And I thought, okay, let's see if I can do that. So it says, it asks, tell me about your art forms. How can I assist you with your marketing? What are your career goals? What are your biggest challenges? And then they can ask any question they like in the bottom section. And I found it very, very useful, and artists are finding it very, very useful. And in a minute, I'll actually show you some of these in action, I hope. So then that led to the musician's career guide, which helps musicians with their marketing, because like many artists and authors, musicians, they're great at creating things, and then they create them, and then they go, well, now what? How do I market it? And they usually don't have a clue, or they don't even want to do it. So with tools like this, it just speeds it up and makes it so much easier for them. And then this one is proving incredibly popular. It's for authors because authors are in the same boat. They don't know so many things to learn about self-publishing and audiobooks and how to promote things and how to use social media and this whole new things to learn. So Authors Ally can basically walk them through and answer any of their questions. And it's a very, very useful tool. I've got a number of authors using it and are just very, very happy with what they're getting from it. This is actually the live one. The thing that I realized after working with authors and having them interact with Authors Ally is that actually I could take any author's book and train the AI on that author's book so that people could then interact with the book and get a much deeper involvement with the book and with the author, because the author has input into what the AI can answer. And the AI can answer anything about the book. And there's about 12 different things it can do that are just, I don't really have time to go into now, but they're pretty extraordinary. Okay, the question in the room is, how do we make it so that AI knows the book? There's actually two ways. The one most used is, as I'll show you a little bit later, one of the nice things about these custom GPTs is they have a thing called a knowledge base, where you can literally upload the information that you want to train the AI on. So it can be the person's book, it can be their bio, their history, their achievements, whatever. It can all be the AI can be trained on all those things. There we go. Okay, so now it's searching, it's reading the book, and it's a long book. It's many, many, many chapters, but it's read it pretty quickly. And it says he faces a multitude of challenges throughout the book. Here are some key ones that he encounters. And so I can take any one of these things and ask for any kind of more information that I want, more details. I can also role play with the characters. I can have the characters do other things. There was the other day we tried a thing where we said there's a certain point in the book where the lead character comes to a crossroads and he chooses this way. What might have happened if he'd gone that way? And it came up with a wonderful storyline of what would happen. But it will also, you can ask it stuff about writing as a craft as well. It's got so many different things it can do. And then it says, is this what you were looking for? Do you need more details or something else?
Puts cookbooks out of business.
Pardon?
It puts Cliff Notes out of business.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's so many of these things.
Scan this in, or do they
You upload it. Okay, so I'm going to go back
So
to,
you need the book's manuscript or the copy of the book.
you need a digital copy.
Yeah, digital copy. Yeah. So you can do a Kindle copy and upload. Well, you can't really download a Kindle version.
People in the room are asking about how you upload these things. You upload them by pressing the upload button. And usually it's a PDF or a doc file. I think those are the two main files. I read somewhere that there's a third one, but I don't remember what it was. The main ones are doc files and PDFs.
So when I was with you, I think like a few months ago, you could upload a hard copy version into it. Is it ChatGPT 4 that you can upload a hard copy of that kind of version?
Yep.
Okay.
Question in the room was, this gentleman was with me a few months back and we couldn't upload something. So he asked, is it ChatGPT 4, which came out between then and now? And the answer is yes. This is something that's available in ChatGPT 4. In fact, ChatGPT 4 is where all these things work and where you can upload images and it can see the images and describe things and hear things and describe them and all sorts of wild stuff. This one is called Studio Wizard, and it's for people with home recording studios. It teaches them everything they need to know about home recording. And because it's a wizard, it speaks in the style of Gandalf. I mean, it really does. So it's kind of fun. Then, so I was just like, as you can see, just playing around with these things, seeing, getting my feet wet, finding out what you could do. And then an interesting thing started to happen, which is what kind of led me to what then happened, which blew my mind. So most everybody can do with some help with marketing, right? And marketing can be quite a complex subject, involving often a number of people and time-consuming, sometimes unconfrontable because of so much to look at. So I was working on some projects that involved very time-consuming, in-depth market research for a couple of companies, when suddenly a light bulb went off. And I went, whoa, wait a minute. I'm spending, 2 weeks doing all this research. Why don't I have AI do it for me? And so thus was born Marketing Bloodhound. And Marketing Bloodhound goes across the web, and I've trained him to research many, many key areas really deeply, including the current marketplace, potential markets, competition, pricing, prospect concerns and needs and pain points, a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Audience personas, which is a very detailed and exact look at all the characteristics of your target audience. Preliminary keywords, and much more. And this is really kind of still blows my mind what it can do in terms of market research compared to the amount of time I used to spend to have to do it myself. So then I went, okay, well, let's go deeper as part of this. Let's find the pain points of any company, any audience, or any public for a company. And so Insight Finder does that. It finds all the pain points for any area or niche or subject that you put into it. And then Hooks Generator creates multiple positive and negative hooks and headlines by the niche or subject. And again, this stuff used to take quite some time. And now it's like a few seconds, which is pretty wild. So it says here, create 20 compelling headlines from the positive hook, which is what you picked up from the other tool, Insights. Create 20 compelling headlines from the negative hooks. Give me 20 more positive hooks, etc. I mean, it's just it's wild. Then I thought, well, what about keywords? Because we always need keywords for our websites and our blog posts and whatever. And sure enough, Keyword Detective does that. So now at this point, I realized I had, all the information I needed to write a marketing campaign. But typically writing a marketing campaign, sequential marketing campaign, in depth and in detail, covering all the stuff you've got out of the market research, takes a long time, or it should take me a long time. But then I built Campaign Architect. And with Campaign Architect, I just trained it on all the information that the market research provided and said, create the campaign. And the first one it did was great, but it was a 12-month campaign and the client only had 3 months. So I said, okay, redo it as a 3-month campaign. And it did. It just tightened it up. And then, and this is for me, although I say so myself, the point of brilliance, what would happen is I would get all this incredible information from the market research and from the marketing campaign, and then I would present those to the client. And the client might, because of the depth with which this stuff can do, the marketing campaign could be anywhere from 20 to 40 pages, which is a lot to confront. The bigger the company, the more staff, then the more things they can do. And some of the companies that I was working with have, brand new people on post who know nothing about marketing, let alone marketing campaigns. So I thought, okay, I'll build this thing called Marketing Mentor, and I'll train it on all the market research material and the marketing campaign for that company, and on the company itself and a few other things, so that anybody in the marketing department, if they wanted to know anything about the campaign, they just ask the mentor. And for instance, it says, how can I make my marketing more effective? What are beginning-friendly social media? Oh, no, actually, the ones that are done for companies actually have to do with advice on implementing this campaign and the sequence for implementing the campaign and all sorts of other things. But the thing that proved to me how workable this is that last Friday, I had a Zoom call to Hawaii where a new person on staff for this company, I'd given her 2 weeks to study the campaign and to use the customized market mentor. And then I met with her and said, okay, so how are you doing with the campaign? And she said, great. And I said, okay, so any questions? And she said, no, the mentor has answered them all. And at that point I went, whoa, this really works. So that was very gratifying. Taking my job away from me, yeah, shooting myself in the foot.
So you can double up front.
Now, so then what happened was, yep.
Tony, I want to see if I get the right concept here. Take a look at ChatGPT. It's like the overarching program. Are you just creating like sub-programs that have a whole number of pre-set up prompts or something like that you can use? They're
focusing. They're taking ChatGPT and focusing it into a very specific subject or area. And then as people start to go through the campaign, they need content because the campaign says, well, you're going to need, blog posts and social media posts and all this kind of stuff. So I thought, okay, well, I'll have a GPT do that. So AI Content Crafter was born. And I'll give you a quick example of that. See if we can go back online. There we go. Good. This is a tool that I'll show you a little bit later, but what's cool about it is when you spend as much time on ChatGPT as I do, you end up with hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of conversations that you've had, and trying to find, one or two words or a section in one of those previous conversations is like looking for a needle in a haystack. So this little tool enables me to search all of them and find them. So this is an example of Content Crafter. And this is kind of a funny one because I have a client who's a graphic designer, and she wanted to write a blog post about why graphic designers were better than AI and why it's better to use a graphic designer than AI. And we were going to ask the AI this, why graphic designers are better than you. And so we told it was a Facebook post about why it's better to use a real graphic designer. And it came up with an initial headline, which was okay, but not great. But then it wrote the sections of what it would include in the blog post, and she liked them. She approved it. And then I said, okay, give me, 10 really compelling headlines for this blog post. And one of them we really liked, Designing with Soul, Why Human Creatives Outshine AI, which I thought was great. So we said, okay, so now write us a 500-word blog post on this subject. But actually, prior to that, I said, create an image for us exemplifying that headline. And it did this.
That's an AI. That is an obvious AI.
Yeah, it's meant to be. The blog post is about AI. And she loved it. And even though she's a graphic designer, she loved it. And so then it created the blog post, and it did a great job of that. So it's kind of nice in Content Crafter. You don't have to go outside to create images or create the blog posts or whatever. Everything happens inside the one program. And then after that, going back to the PowerPoint,
Was that your program?
they all are. And then very often it comes up that they should create videos. So I created Video Director, and he creates great video titles, writes great scripts, visual storyboards, and also offers specialized video production advice. So I'm going to go online again and show you what it does or did. And what was interesting about this one is that it asked me what did I want my video to be about. It asked what was the topic or theme, the target audience, the video length, the style and tone, what elements or scenes did I want, what's the purpose of the video. And then based on that, it created the script with the voiceover text and what the visual should look like. And then it created a storyboard. Now, these are not the images that it would use in the actual video. They're just the storyboard images to give you a clue as to what each scene is about. And then it gave more information on the script tied in with each particular image. And then I said, give me a different version. So it did this as a different version. And then I said I wanted one for artists. So it did that, and then it created the storyboard for artists, which is a whole different style. And this kind of stuff typically would take a while to do, writing a script, writing a storyboard, getting the images, putting it all together. But this was minutes. And and so from this I was able to make a video very quickly and easily. So I find it very, very, very useful. And I'm going to continue through this few more, and then I'll get to the main point of why I'm showing you this. Then, of course, in the campaign, typically they would either need a new website or their website updated or whatever. So I built Website Designer to do that. It's specifically for WordPress websites. It also includes basic SEO advice, best practices in web design, and various others. Video Director also includes a lot of helpful production tips for producing your own videos. Then I looked at the fact that sales funnels are very good to build for your content, but they take an immense amount of time building all the content and all the images and everything. So Funnel Builder just automates that, makes it so much faster because it does it all. And then Sales Coach Pro is really good for training salespeople in a company because it has the entirety of the web sales information to draw from. And I found it to be really, really, really good. So the hallelujah moment for me was when I looked at this sequence of tools that I'd been using, and they actually paralleled what I was doing while I was working on a marketing campaign and the implementation and all the parts of it. And I realized that this particular sequence of GPTs those 12 GPTs can literally replace an entire marketing department. Now, of course, I don't advertise it as such, like that, because marketing departments would not be happy. So it's more promoted as an enhancement to your marketing department. But any one of them takes people so much farther and faster than they've been able to go before. But all 12, it's just extraordinary. And it enables me to offer market research and marketing campaigns at a tenth of the normal price. And of course, I can teach people how to use these tools so they use them themselves, which makes it even more affordable for them. And I can make versions personalized to companies and to artists. And, as I mentioned before, author AI book companions. So I hope you're getting the idea that these tools are just extraordinary, and any of us can build them for whatever we need. And I'll show you shortly how you can do that. And I even found a way to how to make some of them work in the free version of ChatGPT. They don't have all the same functionality. They don't have the ability to make pictures and or to upload files. But some of these ones don't need that, and so they can work in the free version. This I mentioned before. It's a book companion, and it gives a deeper interactive look into a book.
I had a question. Remember last time we were talking, they were about to come out with a technology where they could take, let's say you came up with a marketing program and then you wanted to interface it with the various different media. Did they accomplish that?
Yep. I'm actually just about to cover a part of that. Okay. So apart from being able to add our own documents to what's called its knowledge base to train our AI assistant, there are also things called actions. And these open up the power of these tools pretty unbelievably, because they enable our GPTs to communicate with and cause external programs to do all sorts of things sequentially. It takes some programming. Up to now, we haven't really needed to program, as you'll see. This part we kind of do, but it opens up massive potential because it can connect with apps like Zapier, which itself connects with 6,000 other programs and allows 20,000 different actions to occur in any sequence we like. I think I've given an example here. Yeah, as an example, we're working on a lead generation GPT now, which will basically go to LinkedIn, find people who are looking for particular services, study their recent posts, create and send them a communication that references one of their posts, and then put all the info into a Google spreadsheet, all automatic. So you can imagine how much time that saves. That's using these actions. That's trickier stuff, but it can be done. Oh yeah, so I'll move this out of the way. As you communicate with the AI, you can end up with hundreds, even thousands of conversations, and finding something in one of these conversations is extremely hard and time-consuming. And this is where this Chrome extension called ChatGPT Conversation History Search, which is what I used before, that enables me to find anything very quickly. So that helps a lot. It's $10, but for me, it was so worth it.
At one time?
Mm-hmm. Now, this is a section on security, because GPTs hadn't been out long before hackers discovered that they could get the GPTs to give up all their programming info, sometimes just by asking them. But that people got smart, got wise to that and fixed that. But I've done a lot of research in this area, and I found like 10 things you can put into the back-end programming that will prevent any such attempts. And all that will happen when somebody tries to hack your GPT or tries to find out how it's built, they'll just get a polite thing saying, sorry, I'm not able to help you with that. And this is actually the thing. It's not particularly readable here, but at the end, I'm going to give you my email address, so that, as usual, if you want the slides, you can send me an email and you'll get a copy of the security code as well. a client of mine, there's just a couple of new ones just this week. A client of mine was having trouble with some basic computer definitions and AI definitions. So I built Definitions Master, which simplifies computer and AI terms into easy to understand language, gives examples, sentences, images, and even derivations. So that one works very well. Research Rabbit, I was doing so much research that I finally got smart and said, let the AI do the research. So I built Research Rabbit, which saves me a lot of time. Now, how do you make these things? Well, I wish I could tell you, but I have to go and see it. So you can build your own around your area of expertise and knowledge, or around anything you need. And the actual building of them ranges from ridiculously simple to not so simple. But you can go from ridiculously simple to not so simple pretty quickly and become more and more simple as you get used to how to prompt the AI and how to communicate with the AI to get it to do what you want. Yeah, so some will be relatively easy. Some will take testing, tweaking, retesting back and forth, saying, no, that's not quite what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Test it again. Almost. Let's adjust this, etc. And you basically go back and forth with the AI until it does what you envision. And very often in that process, you realize other things that it could do, and you build those in. One thing I would say, always test, because sometimes it says it's changed something and it hasn't. Or it has, but it hasn't done it well enough so that it doesn't do what you needed. So let's build a simple one. On the left here, these are the 37 that I've built so far. Okay, so, pardon? Yes. So what you do is, as you go below the ones you've built, there's a section called Explore. Now, very important thing, let me go back to the basic one here. You have to make sure you're not in ChatGPT 3.5, the free version, because none of this stuff will work. So you have to be in ChatGPT 4, the paid version, which is $20 a month. And with what it can do now and what you can do with it, for me, it's the biggest bargain out there. So then you go down to Explore. And when you hit Explore, you see this thing that says Create a GPT. So you click the plus sign, and you have two ways that you can do it. If you have already figured out the name you want your GPT to have, and the description, and what instructions you want to give the AI, and also things like conversation starters, what they are the 4 things you see at the bottom that just start people off. They're starting questions or starting things they can click on. And you can have them say anything you like. This is where you upload files, and this is where you determine what you want your GPT to be able to do. Should it be able to go on the web? Should it be able to create images? Should it do coding? And here's where you do actions. But so that this is if you already know what you want. But if you don't know what you want, you go to this one and you basically talk to the AI. It says, hi, I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like, make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products, or make a software engineer who helps format my code, or anything at all. What would you like to make? And I'm going to actually grab something that to save time, I'm going to say that I want to create, this came about actually because of a meeting I had last night. I want to create a social media marketing coach. So I'm telling it, this is what I'd like it to do. I want to create a social media marketing coach who will offer tailored advice on current workable social media marketing strategies, which social media channels are good for what, how exactly to use them. The guidance should be versatile, covering aspects like content, how and when to post, important things to do and not do, and anything else that can help with their social media marketing and building a personal brand. After each of your replies, where appropriate, ask, would you like to know more detailed information about any of these items? So I'm going to give it that information and see what it says. So it's already started to build this GPT.
But part of the talent is you being able to write that prompt.
Who said that?
I said that.
Oh, Michael. Oh, absolutely. But you get better.
That's a brilliant prompt. I mean, that is an absolutely brilliant prompt.
Thank you.
I couldn't do that.
Thank you. Well, the GPT builder said, great choice. Your GPT will be a social media marketing coach, providing tailored advice, etc., etc. And then it says, let's give your GPT a name. How about social media maven? I don't think so. What might be a good name for a social media marketing choice? Social media.
Tony's really cool social media.
Thank you. I was thinking of just one extra word after social media. What did you say?
Guru.
Sage. Social media sage. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. We'll keep it again.
Yeah. Okay, social media sage.
To add on to that prompt, like you do.
Oh, yeah.
with your jet-
Absolutely.
all the time.
So now it's going to change it to social media sage. And now it's going to generate an icon. And yeah, I'll take that. So now it puts the name Social Media Sage there, and it says it's a social media marketing coach offering tailored advice on strategies and personal branding. It's put in as a starter questions: how can I improve my social media presence? Can you suggest a strategy for LinkedIn? What's the best time to post on Instagram? How do I build my personal brand on something? And then it says, finally, let's talk about roles and goals. You've mentioned offering advice. Is there any specific aspect of social media marketing or a particular type of audience you want the GPT to focus on more? For instance, should it specialize in advice for small businesses, individual influencers? I'm going to say small businesses and artists. Actually, no, I'm going to say entrepreneurs and artists. And you can change all this anytime you like. So it's updating it. And now it's going to say, got it. The social media sage will specialize in guiding entrepreneurs and artists with etc. Now let's consider any specific areas we should emphasize or avoid. Are there any particular topics within social media marketing that you'd like the GPT to focus on or steer clear of? For example, should it avoid discussing paid advertising strategies, or should it emphasize organic growth? Both, but with organic as the starting point. I need a GPT to help me type.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you know how long it might have taken with traditional programming to build something like this in the past. It's not a short cycle. And we've done it in, less than 10 minutes, I think. Okay. Oh, how would you like the GPT to handle interactions with users? Should it maintain a formal or be casual and friendly? I'm going to say casual and friendly. Oh, should it provide brief overviews with the options for deeper dives? Oh, yes, absolutely. So I'm going to say casual and friendly. One of the reasons it's asking me these questions is because it's come to know me and it knows the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Casual and friendly, and yes, the deeper dive.
Would it be safe to say that you and ChatGPT are dating?
Well, are we going steady? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody in the audience here wants to know if ChatGPT and I going steady? Apparently so. From brief overviews.
And was there something at the beginning that you were gonna put in that tells it to keep it private, not private, but so somebody can't steal it? Would that have been before you started?
No,
this?
I will put that in. I'll go into the configure section, go into the instructions section, and put it at the end. Okay. How would you like the GPT to personalize its interactions? For example, should it reference current trends? Oh, yes. All of the above. Sometimes it'll only ask 2 or 3 questions. In this case, it's asked us, it's gotten really kind of very specific, which is good. So it's now set up and ready to go. Feel free to try it out in the playground, which is over on the right here. So, how do I improve my social media presence? I'm sure it's going to ask me questions. Well, just a simple one. What's the best time to post on Instagram? Generally midweek days like Tuesday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. Now, once you're happy with what it's doing, you can save it for only you or for anyone with the link or public. If you save it as public, it's going to end up in OpenAI's ChatGPT store that's opening in January, and you'll be able to make money from it. So I'm going to, anyone with the link, and I'm going to say, there it is. So there it is, the one we just created. Would you like? Who would like to ask it a question about social media?
That was just absolutely amazing. My mind is blown.
Okay. Would you like to ask it a question
Um,
about social media?
yes. Can you market a service business on TikTok?
Good question.
We keep you too.
I sleep on.
The person in the room has asked a question, which is, can you market a service business on TikTok? Which is a very interesting question. It says absolutely. Showcase your process, use trends and hashtags, educational content, testimonials and success stories, collaborate with influencers. Now on that one, I would say, how do I collaborate with influencers? Give me some influencers. Give me their contact information. It does all that stuff as well. Yeah, so basically this is for someone who needs help with social media. This tool will handle it.
Ronnie,
Yes?
so originally when ChatGPT came out, it ended at 2021 when you wouldn't accessing that. But then they updated it to 2022. But this seems like it has to interface live with the internet.
Yeah, it's been trained up until April 2023, but it has live web access, so it can get current information. Yes? Oh, sorry, for the guys on Zoom, the question was, the original ChatGPT was trained up until September 2021, more recently April 2023, and but it also has, as you saw when we went into the editing section over here, we can turn on web browsing, so it can do web browsing currently. And I have another question in the room.
This custom GPT is amazing.
Sorry, I can't hear.
This custom GPT stuff is amazing. I'm
Yep.
able to do it on my phone.
Yeah.
I have a small software business.
Yeah.
I think it can pretty much radically transform the whole software development.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
No matter what, new stuff can come up.
That's absolutely the case.
Right here on my phone, I can write.
Yep. A gentleman in the audience just built himself a custom GPT on his phone. he has a software company, and he's saying basically this is incredible. It's going to completely transform so many businesses, including software businesses.
So will you tell me where the bulk of my audience is, like the demographic? So
Absolutely, yeah. The market research.
yeah.
I had to get the $20 upgrade.
Sure. It's these days a no-brainer. Let me.
How do you send this to another person once you create them? Let's say I want to send it off to a friend of mine to use. How do I do that?
I saved it as to anyone with the link, and you send them the link, and they have it.
The market research thing, of marketing blood count or something like that. Can I license that?
We can talk. We can talk. Yeah. Okay. A lot of guys in the room have had a chance to ask questions. I'm going to let the guys in the Zoom ask some questions, and then we may come back to the room as well. But let me see if there's questions in the chat. Okay. So, all right. All right. Karen, an author called Karen says, I love Author's Ally. She's one of the ones who had a custom one built for her, and she's having a blast with it. SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Just wow, really, Tony? Wow. Okay. Thank you, Bonnie. Can the lead generation technique work with Facebook instead of LinkedIn? Absolutely. They can work with anything that can be reached. Can you build one that automates your testing? Not sure what that means. Automates your testing.
Like A/B testing in different
Oh,
areas?
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Social media pundit. Okay. Mentor.
Can you get it to do the posting for you?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Okay. If anybody in the Zoom has any questions before I open it back up to the room here, you can either put them in the chat or speak with your microphones. Okay, here comes one. Wayne says, what is the best way to engage a reporter? You want me to ask social media Sage that question, Wayne? Is that what you're asking? Let's try it. Wayne, can you give me some more information in terms of engage a reporter about what? How to prep for interviews. Oh, these tools are fantastic for role-playing interviews. Tony, I asked you to give me options on how to redirect people to a location where I can sell the printed artwork. Okay. I want to complete the first cycle with Wayne. What's the best way to engage a reporter to do what? To do articles. To engage a reporter to write articles. Whoop. Yeah, I have another client who is actually researching all that stuff for her book using Marketing Mentor, which is more, because this is more social media Sage. This is more of a question for Marketing Mentor, but let's see what happens, just in case it can. Yeah, it answered some general stuff here, and it said, would you like to know more detailed? And I would take some of these up and say, okay, give me more specifics. And I'd ask for a list of reporters. I do all sorts of stuff to dig into this. Okay. So it's giving an overall kind of simple generic thing that you can then go into and take each one and say, give me much more, expanded, detailed information. But these are all valid using Twitter's advanced search, using industry-specific hashtags, check media outlet accounts, network engage, use social media tools like Muckrack or BuzzSumo, Twitter lists, monitor relevant conversations. And again, you can say, how can I do that? And then it will tell you about tools like Social Mention and others. Ask it to give me options on how to redirect people to a location where I can sell the printed artwork. Okay, what printed artwork? Some of these questions are kind of the questions that you would ask after you'd already kind of established who you are and what you do, so it knows about you and what your artwork is, and then it can think with the information and go, okay, for this artwork, and you can even upload a picture and show it, and then you can say, where can I sell it? But just to say, give me options on how to redirect people to a location where I can sell the printed artwork isn't detailed enough at this point. Karen says, when you send out the slides, do you send out the video too? There wasn't a video in these slides. Can I share the slides with people who weren't able to be here? I have many friends who desperately need your brilliant help. Well, thank you, myself included. Yes, you can share the slides. Okay. Oh, Dia says photos. Okay, Dia, photos on what subject? Or subjects or styles? You see, that the thing is, if you ask general questions, you'll get general answers. The whole trick with these things is to really think through, because you're talking to a machine, and you've got to get the machine to understand you and your art and your challenges and your needs, and then put that in your question. These are really too general, because we haven't established with the social media stage who you are, what you do. Does that make sense? Okay, so any other questions in the room?
Just the stuff you have already created, the toolbox as I called it, is it available for others or?
Many of the tools I make are free, some are not.
Okay.
Good ones are not.
That's not true, Michael. Our resident wit, Michael, said the good ones are not, but it's not true. There's some very good free ones. Okay, Buddy says, I'm paying ChatGPT $20 each month, which is what you said you pay. What other expenses did you encounter in everything you did with what you showed us? Nothing really. Yeah, time, but not money. Okay, any other questions? Yes,
I
Debbie.
just have one. So let's say, for an example, that I have customers and you're talking about a link. Is there one of these that they could hit the prompts or whatever to start them off? Like, let's just say, for example, I have a leak. What should I do? A roofing leak. I have a roofing leak. What should I do? With those questions that you put in, and then it would take them through the chat and answer those questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so that's not open to everybody. So I send Doc a link, I send you a link, I send Nancy a link. You all have your own. It's not open to everybody.
No, it's only open to everybody if you set it to public.
Gotcha.
Okay. So if you have a custom chat that you created, or program you created, could you package that and take that outside of ChatGPT so it doesn't look like it's part of it?
Well, that's a very, very good question, which I've been asking for a few weeks now, and the answer is no and yes.
Put your own skin on it.
Yeah. It takes programming, but it can be done. It can be put on your website. It's not easy, and I'm just with a partner, just working through the programming steps necessary to do that. But yeah, that's going to be much more possible. I also read today that these custom GPTs will at some point be available in the free version, but I don't know at which point. can we utilize any of the assistants you've created and shown us, and how would we do that? I'm going to put a link into the chat where you can go and check out the free ones and also get an idea of the other ones. The person called Discover Diagnostics asked where you can go and see some of these things, try them out for free, download the free ones and use them, and see all the other stuff that's being built, and join my mailing list where I can keep you updated on new AI stuff that's happening. I'll answer your questions in a minute. That's personalcustomgpts.com. And I just put it in the chat. Oh yeah, and you can actually see it. personalcustomgpts.com. Okay, so who was next?
When somebody was asking about the videos, I wonder if they were referring to this meeting. Is that going to be available anywhere?
We're definitely hoping so. Okay, yes? Oh, my email address, hang on, let me go to the last screen. Oh, hi, Dolly and Guy, great. That's who Discover Diagnostics are. Two very good friends of mine from LA. Great, thanks for coming. I'm going to go to back to the PowerPoint and get to the last slide so you can. So here at the bottom left is my email address, so you can request the slides and the code for making your GPTs secure. And you can also request a free AI coaching session with me, where I basically get with you, find out your challenges, what your uses of AI might be, and help you with those things. And that's free. And you can ask for it at the same time you ask for the slides. I'm going to go back to the chat just in case there's anything more in there. Oh, hi, Dolly. Hello, Dolly. Okay, so any last questions before we wrap up?
This is a fabulous, as always, fabulous program. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So you guys found it. Oh, appreciate it. So is this stuff you feel you can use? Good. Awesome. And Doc, you had questions. You have them solved now?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Tony, thanks for coming. For the love. That's been great. And by the way, anyone else here at the club tonight, if you're not a member of the TBTC, we just try and smother you in kindness. We don't actually go up and shake you to get news out of it. But we'd love it if you'd join. It's $50 a year.
And that includes free beer.
Just things. Well, free coffee anyway. And you get here free, but it costs you $50 to go out that door. There's a little flyer by the door here.
I'm totally here the first time. What do you guys do here? You get a free computer repair every year. So that's included. So I go into
just read this
Best Buy
message from
and get a
Terry's.
computer repair for $50.
And if you'd like to teach a class on something that you know, please talk to me, because we always need.
Yeah, they're free. That's the free ones.
kind of like-
Only the free ones.
Yeah. Well,
That was deliberate. Only the free ones.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
I didn't know you were here.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Are you still online? Or did you?
I'm just about to close it down.
we got a guy.
Don't hurt me. I didn't do
Tony, I don't know if I'm getting more conversant with
Oh,
the subject.
gee.
Hi. I don't know if I'm getting more conversant with the subject or what, but it's easier now.
Oh,
This
good.
one was more consumable. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
I should close this meeting because they're hearing everything we're saying.
Okay, Karen.
Okay, thank you all for all you guys who came. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your interaction. I'm going to close the meeting now.
Okay, thanks, Tony.
Oh, you're so
Thank
welcome.
you.
You bet.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Oh, thank you, sir.
All right.
Bang.
We must have you back to the inventor
Hello,
council.
Tony.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye. And see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.